Hello, having some coffee with me this morning. Actually, it's this afternoon. I'm going in a little bit late to work today to make this video. I had to go to the doctor's today, so I made that excuse so that I could just breathe a little bit. Working my 9 to 5 is it's a lot. Anyway, I finally got approval for my test on my hand. Thank goodness for that. Yeah, I'm very grateful today and grateful to God. I'm still not getting very many views, but that's okay. I'm going to keep fucking going. Anyway, I seen a video today from Latoya Okia, and I hadn't heard her. I hadn't seen one of her videos in a long time. Very inspirational woman. Very godly woman. She gets fired up. And I needed to hear it today. I did. She said my silent time is over. And I have to agree. I agree. My silent time is over. And I was watching Chrome today on Van City Van Life, and I just love him and his dog. Maybe, I pray one day I get to meet him. I would probably be starstruck. But I feel like he's my friend already. I've been watching him for so long. Since, I think, 2019, I've been watching him. And he's inspired me. He inspired me to build this camper van. And I'm going to do a video tomorrow on my day off showing you where I'm at. I got a lot to do. And he was talking today about how cluttered his van gets and how he needed to organize and go through some things, that he had way more clothes than he needed. And I am in that same realm. And in my case, for myself personally, I mentioned the other day that my mother raised me on welfare. She was also born in 1923. So she lived through the Depression. She was very frugal. And we were really poor. I could tell you some stories of how I got my clothes. There was a lot of clothes that I took ass whippings for because I refused to wear. But I have a tendency to hoard certain things because of that being raised for. Clothes, food, and trinkets. I like jewelry. And rocks. I have a lot of rocks. Anyway, I have a lot of organizing to do to downsize into this van. But it's becoming an emergency. And I realized this yesterday when I pulled this, it's like a Rubbermaid drawer, where you can organize things. Okay, well, it didn't have anything in it, but it was sitting in the bottom of the closet. And when I pulled it out, there was a dress of mine that had come off the hanger that was sitting in there. And I had a suspicion because I've been so congested and I've been having headaches and I'm extremely depressed. And so I had a funny suspicion because I realized that I had a leak in my roof. And I already knew that the air conditioner was leaking. And I couldn't figure out where the water was going. I just knew that it was coming in on the counter, and I kept cleaning it up and drying it up, and I rigged it so it went into a container. But by the time that I realized it, I just knew that the damage was already done because it's so humid here. So I think I've got a mold problem, and that can be very detrimental to your health. So that too is why I'm downsizing into a van. Not only am I able to move around, but there's no mold in the van. And like I said, it's a test to see if it's any warmer once you heat it up inside. So the other day also on my last video, I told a story about asking a trucker some questions, and he had said the number 24486. When I said that number was on my clothes, I didn't have a name. That was my identification. It was on all my letters, all my clothes, on everything, every documentation. Um, yeah. I was 19 going on 20 in April of 1990. April 12th to be exact. Certain things I never will forget. I remember a judge saying to me, "If you think you're going to get away with this, young lady, you've got another thing coming. Take her out of my sight. I don't want to see her anymore." I was with someone and I was very, very drunk. And I sat back and watched him do something very bad to someone. And I didn't do anything about it. And when they caught him, I was with him. And I got charged the same thing because I fled with him that very night. That was a long time ago. I told you I made a lot of stupid mistakes. 24486 was my ORW number. That's something that I'm really ashamed of. But in turn, in my life, I've done a lot of service jobs. And so, now that I'm older and my kids are grown, I try to be of service. And I try to be nice to people, regardless of how they look, how they act, how they smell. Whatever the case may be. You just don't know what you're going to run into. And especially homeless people. I will find myself stopping and having a conversation with them. I'm the working poor. I'm not the only one in this country that works a full-time job and has to live in rough circumstances because of finances. The wages are low and the rent is high. And if you live alone, you're kind of stuck in the situation. You know? You either have to have roommates and split the bills and deal with it, or, like I said before, work 80 hours a week. I don't got that kind of energy. I'm 56 years old. I just don't have it. So, that's why I'm not giving up on this channel. I might not be getting any views, but somewhere out there, I'm going to find my tribe. There's going to be people that are going to want to hear what I've got to say. I want those working poor people to know that you're not alone. We're in this together. And if I'm ever able to buy some land, my intentions are to put electric poles in so that women out there living in these same circumstances as me, whether it's a vehicle, a camper, we need fellowship and we need a safe place to be. Community. Just like Chrome mentioned today on Van City Van Life. You get to a point in your life where you don't mind being alone. You've gotten used to it. But you also, part of you will crave community. Camaraderie. And I know it's out there. I've just got to prepare myself. And that's why I cannot quit. I've matured a lot. And I made a lot of stupid mistakes when I was young. But with my faith, I know that I can make it. And I will buy that land. So that I have a safe place that no one can take away from me. To give me the stability that I crave. And then I can feel free to travel. Because there's so many things I want to see. Do you know that I have been to the Grand Canyon? I've drove by there 3 times in my life, and I never once got out of the car to take a look. That is a big regret. I'm going to remedy that. It may take me a while, but I've got faith and I've got patience. And I also think that's why I'm so congested too. So it's imperative that I get out of this camper for my health. Because in 2020, when I was homeless at the city park after my car wreck, I went and worked at a chicken farm. They had an ad on Craigslist saying, "You come and help us on the farm, and we will give you a place to stay." And so I went and stayed at a camper on their farm. That camper was full of mold. It was under the bed. It was under the sink. I had bleach and I tried to clean the best I could. But when I seen what was under the bed, there really wasn't a lot I could do about it. I got deathly ill. In fact, I dropped 40 pounds in like 2 months because I couldn't eat. I couldn't hold down food. And I still to this day don't know if it was the mold that did it or whether it was inhaling the stuff from the chicken coops. Either way, if it was the mold, I need to remedy it and I need to do it fast. I had worked and saved up all summer. And Linda, my bio mom, she gave me the $500 I was lacking. And I was able to get that van. So I own it. It's bought and paid for. And so I'm just slowly working on things. Because again, I gotta hold down this 9 to 5. I gotta live. I have bills to pay. I'm in debt. I got a car that I pay for. Car insurance. You guys know the drill. Slowly but surely. So, you know, I play the daily lottery and maybe God will bless me with that. I've gotten 4 out of 5 in the last year. Only lacking 1 number of winning. Play the same numbers every day. Consistently. And they just so happen to be roulette numbers that I played when I used to gamble years ago. That's another story. So, I got many stories to tell. So many stories to tell. But I wanted to explain the 24486 number. I will never forget that number. I tried to call and get my records, but they've been destroyed. That was before they went to computers. And they destroyed all the paper records. So I couldn't get them. I have a new shirt that I ordered. And I will wear it at some point. But I like shirts that have sarcastic things on them, right? And this one has flowers, like from SpongeBob, those kind of flowers. And it says, "Meanwhile, one nervous breakdown later, ... And I've had a few of those. I don't, I think that your brain can only take so much pain and so much stress, and then it just does like a checkout, like a reboot thing. And I think that's what it, to me in my mind, that's what a nervous breakdown is. Although some people call them spiritual awakenings, and that, I would say, is probably true as well. When you come out of it and you realize what's going on, you're like, that reboot was rough. But your brain can only store so much. And it can only handle so much stress. So, I'm off to my 9 to 5 today, which is also extremely stressful and triggering. I don't know how I've done it. There's constant alarms going off, and you always got 3 or 4 people talking to you at the same time, and then answering the phone and transferring phone calls and doing all that stuff all at the same time. It's just absolute chaos for 8 hours of your day. So I thought today I would try to make my video before I went to work, because I'm so brain dead when I get home. My brain just shuts off. I can sit here, I just want to sit here and veg. Like, I'll sit and watch videos or a journal, but I just want to veg. I just want quiet. I guess that's why the barking dog got on my nerves the other day. Because when I come home, this is my sanctuary. This is where I want peace and quiet. And that barking dog was interrupting that. If I didn't have that after doing that chaotic job, yeah, I would have been in a hospital long ago. Or in jail. There in the beginning of that job, I did have some issues with customers. Just a couple. But I've learned. And, yeah. It's that growing. That slow growing. I got seeds planted everywhere. And eventually they're going to sprout. Whether it's this channel, whether it's my Shopify that I started, that I don't have the financial funds to get up and running. It costs money to run that Shopify account. And then I gotta have money sitting so that when people order it, I can pay for it first. So, it's all a means to an end. I just keep trudging along. So I'm not giving up. And any new YouTubers out there, we got to stick together. So I hope everybody has a great day. I hope I do too. Usually Monday nights are kind of slow. And grateful for that. Everything happens for a reason. I finally got my test result. And I upgraded my insurance in case I need to take a mental break, because you just never know. I am blessed. Even though it sounds like I'm not, I am blessed. It could be worse. I could be in a tent like the people who lost their homes in North Carolina. So, I'm grateful for the moldy shelter that I have. And I'm working on getting out of that. But, little at a time. I only have so much extra, aside from my bills. And they have yet to give me my full-time hours back yet. And I don't think I'm mentally ready to do it. To take on that extra 10 hours a week. So, I'm going to have me a fag, as my friend Carrie calls it, over there in London. She's so cute and so funny. And I just love her accent. So many YouTubers out there have inspired me to just keep going and don't give up. It takes time. So, to all my, I got a few viewers out there, and I appreciate you. And God bless the lady from Texas. That was a very sweet message that you put. I only got one comment, and it was long, but it was beautiful. And thank you. I know I'm saved. And that's why I started this channel. To share my experience, my strength, and my hope. And I'm a fan of so many YouTubers out there. So every now and then I'm going to mention them. It's a beautiful day out today. And there's all kinds of ladybugs on the roof of my house I'm going to have because I had the door open today. I'll have to catch them later. But you know, I read that the spiritual meaning of ladybugs is really wonderful. I'd have to look it up again. Let me see if I can do it. 222. Angels watching over you. I know that's right. I'm a lucky woman. I'm not lucky. I'm blessed. Spiritual meaning of ladybugs. My house is overrun with them. Ladybugs are often seen as a symbol of good luck and good omens. Some believe that if a ladybug lands on you, you can count its spots to predict how many years of good luck you'll have. Protection, healing, transformation, love, wishes,